What's up? Got a Twosun. Not a very good spinner. Let's get it out of here. Usually means one of two things if it's not a good spinner. It's a smaller knife. Or it just doesn't want to spin very well. Yeah, it does. It may not mean anything at all, but this one is a smaller knife. So this, I don't know if it's designated on the blade or not. Let me look. I may have to look this one up. Which I have to sometimes. Got to look them up. Yeah, it's not on here. Let me look it up. All right, this is a Ts335. And a couple of notes on this one. I have owned this exact knife a couple of different times. And each time I gift it. And I also have its brother that is, this one's micarta and titanium, and its brother is carbon fiber and titanium. This one's 14C28N, and the other one I have is M390. So I have not gifted the M390 version, but I've gifted this one a couple of times. This exact one. So I always keep my eye out for it, and the reason I do is because, man, it is really a nice knife. It's very cool. Double detent, and once you find its spot, this thing is such a dream to run. It's got a back flipper. And so it's made to flip it out like that. They made it purposely. The jimping on here, whew, yeah, and so you can snap that out of there, and then you find the sweet spot, and boom, it goes right back in. This micarta is kind of slick. It's burlap micarta, but yeah, this thing is so cool. So let's get in it. Double detent. Whew, that seems not wanting to cooperate, but it's because that side's captured. You got to be careful. You think you know what's up and get a little overzealous, and then in fact you didn't know what was up at all. Yeah, so there'll be some pins back here holding stuff together. Just going to have to manipulate them, get them to pop free. I'd probably get that pivot out of there. Seems like it's willing to just fall out like so. Lots of oil on this one, so I definitely want to get it apart. Try to get these scales up. I don't remember if they come up or not, but if they do, gonna want to wipe oil out from underneath them. But yeah, it's got pins, and the back pins are holding on. Let me try that other screw. Sometimes that'll fool you. That detent pin runs through the blade. Come on, man. I'd like to get the blade out of the way so I don't have to deal with that hazard. Yeah, living the dream. Come on, man. Separate enough. There it is. Okay, save me from a cut. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's got double detents, and the scale pops right out. Yeah, there's a screw in there. That's right. I remember. You gotta get the scale off the insert, get that insert out of there, and then you can find that other screw. Look at all that oil in there. I mean, look at it. Ooh. But yeah, and that screw holds it all down, and you can't do anything with it until you get them scales off. Another cautionary tale about not getting too aggressive or going too far, because might not need to be pried, needs a little more disassembly. All right, there we go. Yeah, so it's got 2 detent points, one on each liner. How cool is that? So that one's open, and then that one's closed. And then the open one is on both sides. The closed is only on one side. Interesting. All right, let's get these little washers out of here, and then let's wipe everything down. And then, oddly enough, we'll add oil back to it, and we'll put it back together. And I am going to take this blade to my ultrasonic and clean it. It's got some staining on it, some, hopefully it's not etching, but I reached out to D-Win on a knife that I had gotten, and it had some marks on it. And so he gave me some tips on how to clean that off with heat and WD-40, and so I had some success with that, and it definitely encouraged me to continue to look at that type of staining or those blade mars as something that could be dealt with, because I had enough success that it told me, well, that stuff can come off. It's just finding the right process or chemicals or heat or whatever it is. And for the most part, when I get a blade and it's got that, it used to make me go, oh, I got one of those. And just kind of live with the fact that the blade had some kind of defect in it. But I don't do that no more. Like, it's just something I can deal with. And like I say, pretty good success of coming away with a clean blade. I'm going to show a close-up of this one before I go work on it, and then we'll see where we, how well we do. These pins only go one way, so this thing's going to be pretty specific about how it goes back together. Whew, it was an oily mess, man. Yeah, so this is one of those, man, that it's nice enough that I gift it to people I care about, people that matter, and I have an opportunity to be generous or do something nice or share this with them. And then if I find one, I pick it up again. Yeah, so look here. So see, it's just kind of funky. See, it's up here in the blade. Definitely all over this side of the blade. See it? Well, we're going to go clean that up. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get a look. How well did it turn out? I mean, looks better, but it's not perfect. This side looks pretty good. This side turned out really good. This side's got a little bit of stuff on it still. Let's see. Yeah, I cleaned all that. Let's put it back together. Let's see. That's the front. Like so. And then I believe the pivot has got to go through this side. Like such. And then a washer. My hands are wet. Shiny side up. And a bearing. I mean, there we go. A little dab will do ya. Do you, schmoo ya. Oh, come on. That little needle is the exact size of the channel on the bearings. I can't tell you how many times I put a drop of oil in there and it snatched the bearing up out of there like that. It's happened many a time. Many, many times. I think I'm ahead of myself because this stop pin needed to be in there before I put the blade down on there. Pretty sure I'm not going to be able to put that in there with that blade on there. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to take it off, put the pin in, I think. There it is. And then go back. All right. Go back, Jack. And then this is my back pivot. Oop. Yeah, no, I got a scale in there. But it ain't the right scale, now that I'm thinking about it. Yep. I did this before once. Yeah. Yeah, it's this one. It's this one, but it's this side. And yeah, I did this once before and got utterly confused. Then, okay. So once that's together, this goes through the scales. So I have to put the scales together before I can do all that, because this goes there, and this and the pins go in. And then this it's challenging me now. Because in order to get that right, okay, I think I remember. This scale goes on, but that screw is not captured in there. Not this scale, it's this scale. This one has to, this one goes, oh my goodness, this one goes like such. And the pivot goes up through here. Y'all having fun? Oh, man. Putting me to the test. It's all right. I'm going to rise to the challenge. It is an odd duck, though. It's not your standard pop it together. But it's the opposite of what I would normally do. And you have to put the one side together and then drop onto it. Get everything kind of lined up. And you got to put this one scale on. And put the scale screw in. Which nothing's holding the backside of that. So, not easy. Does not want to cooperate. But all this has to be together. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this screw in to hold all that down. And then I'm going to pull that scale off down at the bottom so I can hold that screw. Like so. good night, homie. I mean, golly. It's not biting. There we go. All right. Put this scale screw in. Nope. It's not having any part of that. I guess we'll have to finish up front. We are not lined up now. There we go. Oh, it's making me catch my breath. Golly. It's all right. I mean, we're headed in the right direction. See if we land at our destination here. You know what? It's a T8. I'm sitting there turning, and it's not going in. And I think it's not lined up properly, and it's because I don't have the right screwdriver. Goof. Man, if I had $100 for every time I did that, I'd have a substantial little chunk of money. All right, we're together. Let's see how we're adjusted. It's not an ounce. Maybe there's a tiny little bit of play in there. I think it's the other side. Yeah. Oh, this knife is so cool. The level of coolness is off the charts on this little thing. All right, got it. Golly, man. Whew. All right. Final wipe down. Yeah, I mean, that steel's looking pretty good. 14C. I like it. All right. Yeah, that action's like for real legit now. So the flipper tab's got some serious jimping on it, and it's kind of swooped. It's got a little hook property to it that just grabs the finger, and so snappy coming out of there. It's unbelievable. I do not think it's failable. Let's try. It's failable. And then the down action is just the right place. You can go higher or you can go lower. And of course, higher's not as hard, lower's harder, but finding the right spot and then just allowing the detent to break and it'll run home. Because it locks down on this side. It's got a good detent that locks down on that side. And then it's got a good detent at the top that, yep. Are we centered? Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice and centered. Everything's running good. I like it. So that action for what it is, I mean, it's an A all day long. For a double detent knife, I mean, this is how I want it to run. I want to be able to snap it out there, and I want to be able to snap it back in. Boop. I mean, wonderful. Ergonomics. So here's one of the interesting things. This micarta is kind of slick, so I'm going to throw that out right away. But one of the interesting things about this double detent, basically slip joint knife, is that this flipper tab provides a finger guard. So I can just get 4 fingers up on there. And oddly enough, I'm going to say that, not so confident, confident, very confident. Like this is banging right up at a confident grip. And then you go, say it ain't so, Tim. Say it ain't so. Well, it is. And the reason is because if that detent breaks, look what it does. It pinches down on my finger. And so as long as I'm going forward, I don't have to worry about this knife breaking and the blade coming over and cutting my fingers. Even on a slip joint, on a double detent knife, the way that they did that flipper tab provides security for my fingers. So if that detent breaks, like if I run into something and that blade decides to go boop and release with no lock, now is that going to be comfortable? But unless I pull my hand away and then break that detent, as long as I'm up in here, and there's a little bit of jimping here, you can feel it. Like if I'm running my thumb across, it definitely slows me down there. So it helps provide grip. But as long as I'm here, even if the detent breaks, I'm protected. Like I say, it's not comfortable, but I'd rather be uncomfortable and pinched than cut. What a cool feature. So yeah, ergonomics, man. This thing's comfortable in hand. I mean, I think I want to scuff up this micarta a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, ergonomics are solid, man. I dig it. Very cool how this works. And you can choke up if you want to do some detail work, whatever. No pocket clip, but, easily a 5th pocket knife, concealable in my hand for the most part. You wouldn't see it from this way. And then that 14C blade. Well, hold on. Safety checks. Yeah, no blade contact there. And the tip is recessed. So the tip's good. And then I'm confident putting this in my pocket or carrying around in my hand that I'm not going to make incidental contact with that blade. So, is it sharp? Yeah, it's pretty darn sharp, but it's got some boogers. So I'm going to take care of those real quick. Okay. Is it better or worse? Improved? Yeah. Yeah, it's razor blade sharp now. Very sticky. So, awesome. Price and availability. I mean, eBay's got quite a few of these running. And Amazon, at the time of this video, has one running. The place to go, they're like $50 some on White Mountain knives for this version. They also have the carbon fiber M390 version. It's $100, but it's out of stock. So with the code DM10, the discount code that you can find down below, or it's just DM10, you could get that one for $90. This one is like $55. So with the 10% DM10 discount, puts you down at $50. So burlap micarta, titanium, double slip joint or double detent slip joint in 14C28N. I mean, is it worth $50? I think it is. I mean, if you're looking for a slip joint or a double detent, like this thing, the flipper tab, the way the finger guard protects the fingers right there, you know, to actually, you know, use this fairly hard. Like I wouldn't go at this going, oh, I'm going to just push it to its limits. I mean, it is a double detent knife. It's a slip joint. So, I mean, I wouldn't go after it like that, but with that finger guard, pretty cool. Yeah. So is it worth that? I think it is. Pretty cool knife. Anyways, the Ts335, 14C micarta. Pretty nice. Appreciate y'all watching. Oh, hey, by the way, this thing is going to take desk duty. I didn't buy this one to give it away. I bought it to put it on the desk. And so the Kizer land shark or cat shark, Kizer cat shark, is going to be retired. And it's probably going to find its way to its box and into the purge pile. Yep, that's probably where this one's going. Little cat shark, and it's a double detent knife. A little different, but it's also a double detent. It's got a detent at the bottom, and it's got one at the top. Yep. And it's got a spidey flick and a thumb flick, and it's got this top flipper. Yep. Can choke up on this thing, and choked up kind of accomplishes the similar thing as this one somewhat. I mean, if you're holding here, it's hard for that blade to come around and cut you because you're actually holding it. But if you're holding back here, this thing can come around. I mean, here again, the choil's catching you. Yeah, so yeah, this one will make the purge pile. The cat shark, Kizer cat shark, appreciated everything it's done on the desk, but we're going to put it in the box and try to move it down the road. Appreciate y'all watching.